Hello, welcome to the Problem Solver channel. I just opened this back door of this car, found ourselves a little problem. Let's check it out. What do you say we go ahead and fix this problem? I bet my employer would like it if I did. So, rock and roll, here we go. All right, I'm gonna try and keep this to where you can see it and I'm not in your way. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a few threads. I got this short one, so I can attach this corner and keep this where I want it while I stitch it. And then I'm gonna pull my thread for this double needle stitch. I'm going to pull a tail from my thread, pull a tail from my other needle. I meant needle. I'm going to pull an equal length of thread that I need, plus a little extra, and then I'm going to double that. Maybe even do a little more. You do use up a little as you're going, so it's nice to not run out. I hate running out of thread. I'm gonna go ahead and use some real thin needles on this since it's cloth and they probably won't break, and they're a little harder to thread the needle, but it's also harder for the needle to come off your thread to where you have to keep threading it. Have to squeeze it and pull a little tail. Kind of thins it out in this nylon thread. This is a really skinny eye. And then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut these plastic. Well, this one's not very thick, so I'll just leave it. But normally I'll cut that little end off so there's not something big popping my holes larger than I want them to be. Since it'll stay on the needle, I don't have to worry about rethreading it. And I don't need that little plastic chunk on the end. It's lighter, man. It needs convincing to light. It's starting to hurt my thumb. Okay, so being just a that's the big one. Short stitch here now. I have to block the light. In fact, this is just going to tie this temporary. It's just to keep it kind of in place while I'm working. That didn't work. All right. In this case, we have the luxury of just following. There's no damage, so I'm just going to follow the original stitch line. Man, there's no way for me to not block the light, you guys. Hopefully this is visible, or I'm just recording for nothing. So I'm gonna start a little ways back because obviously it's unraveling. I'm going to go every other stitch because otherwise I'll be here all day and you don't need to. So if you don't need to, why would you? A lot of thread here. It's getting a little confusing. And wouldn't you know it, 3/8 of an inch or so is about every other thread. You know, 3/8 of an inch. That one I didn't. It kind of tends to be what the needle wants to do. You know, the way that these needles are curved, it's harder to stitch smaller than that. You know, it'll naturally arc back up and come up about 3/8 of an inch every time. And so that's usually what I do. If it's a nice leather seat, and it's just a ripped stitch, then I'll do, a lot of times I will follow every stitch from the factory. If you want to get even more tech with it, this is the mount. Let's go ahead and stitch that into the mix too. So I'm going to go through here. This is what holds it tight. And then I'm going to go through my hole. And then I'm going to come up 3/8 of an inch down range. Do it again. Now, this side won't be sticking out like this, and that side tucked in nice like that. And I probably won't do every one. It's gonna just make my job take longer. And you know how I hate that. This is a 2010 Nissan Rogue with 94,000 miles on it, folks. Also, not a Maserati. But nobody's gonna want this. I wouldn't want it. I've bought cars with stuff like this wrong with it from my wife, and pulled over on the way home and fixed it before she even saw it because, oh man, that didn't work out. That's gonna need a little bit of black marker. How could I do that better? I am gonna black marker that. I'm not going back. I've done this before. Oh, I remember. It just... You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna snag it when I go down. It's the only way. It's the only way. So I'm going down in my hole, reaching over and grabbing a chunk of this, and then coming up on the same side. And that will alleviate the problem. Down over here. I'm gonna come up 3/8, quarter an inch, 3/8 an inch, whatever it is. Hit it again, grab a chunk of this, come back over, wait a minute, there we go, come up 3/8 of an inch. So now I'm stitching that white piece to this side only, but when you draw them together it's going to be the middle, you know, except for right here where something weird happened. Nobody knows. My stitches are off too. Look how far this one is ahead of the other one. So this time I'm going to go a little bit extra long on that side and extra short on this side, just to even them out. Because again, I don't want to go backwards on this car. Gets what you get, and don't throw a fit. Please. Not the prettiest. Some weird, thin, weak cloth right here. In reality, the bigger a stitch you make, the stronger it's going to be because it has a lot more bite, a lot more material. So don't think you're doing something shady if you go big stitch style. It's actually just fine. Oh, I hope this video, I'm probably blocking it with my head. If I've cut anything out, you guys, it's because you couldn't see anything. Reach in, hit this thing, loop back. Now I don't have to worry about that thing no more. It's all done. Big stitch right there. That's okay. When you're turning the corner, just start setting the stitches on the small corner, the short corner side, real close together, and do these ones a little further apart, and you just arc right around it. A lot of times I'll be stitching those right next to each other. In this case, I'm whipping around this corner in just a couple stitches, so I don't have to do that much. But you'll find that useful if you're doing a hole, a stitch around a big hole or something. There's material missing. points. Switch positions. I'm not looking forward to stitching through that, but I can probably do it just going through the factory holes. Oh, there is a little, some of the material is missing. It's not my favorite, guys. It's not my favorite. My corner's a little bit sharp, isn't it? Whatever. This is gonna be fun. Not. I might have to use a monster needle on this. Okay, what I gotta do? Oh, thread's getting tattered. There's a hard plastic rib in there. And it sucks to stitch through. But I'm gonna try. You know what, I'm gonna try to do it in like 2 stitches. This is stupid. Where is this string coming out at? Yeah, oh, it's gotta come forward. Oh. I could have maybe got in there and cut some of that rib out, so I wouldn't have had to do this. Just cut the rib back to here, and then it would have been just cloth. But I don't know, I guess part of me wanted to try this. And another part of me thought it would be the fastest way. And I want to get done and go on to the next thing. I got a list of stuff to do just like every day. Yeah, I don't want to do this again on this plastic. This stuff's tough. I'll cut it out next time. I don't like anything that's hard on my hands. I need them. I need them forever. Although some of it's unavoidable. Whenever you notice something that's hard, you know, you should start looking for another method to alleviate the stress on your hands. Where's this? What did I do wrong? It didn't come back up. That's normally when the needles fall off and they dangle like that. Oh my God. I hate it. Good enough, I'm moving on. You know, I'm showing you these jobs as I do them, as I decide to do them, because, you know, I think part of what's interesting, or what should be interesting about my videos, is just how, you know, my perspective and how I do it and the decisions I make. You know, a lot of people have videos on the same types of things, but you know, not everyone lives in the same area. Most people live in a different area, in a different environment, and it's good to get perspective, different areas and different people in the trade. There's people that charge a ton more money than me. There's people that charge a lot less, and sometimes you can't control that. If you want to stay busy and you want to get practice, you can't have super high prices, because you're not going to have the practice to even deliver on those really nice jobs. Usually you gotta, you know, you gotta go out there and do some cheap work, and that way you get it all, unless you're just way too busy, and then you're not too worried about it because you got all the practice you need. But that's my advice to people starting out, is don't try to get rich while you're getting practice. You know, still make good money, just don't, you know, just gonna have to decide what's feasible and what's viable. And then if you get fast, you can double the amount of money you're making doing it without charging anymore. So you just start out charging something that is enough, and when you're real good, charge a little more and do it twice as fast. If you think that would work out for you. But I got to where I am by doing everything in sight that someone would allow me to do for cheap. I started when I was 21. I started 20 years ago, or 20. Started 20 years ago, and money wasn't worth as much as, or, you know, it was worth more than it is now. So, you know, with inflation's one factor, but the other is I needed practice, and I wanted practice. I wanted to try to do this type of stuff, you know, build my confidence, build my skill, build my speed. And so I would do anything for not a lot of money, but it felt like a decent amount back then. And I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what, I'm kind of lazy today. I'm just gonna melt this. Lost my razor again. It's actually, I don't want it to be in the pocket of the seat for anybody to reach in there, so I'm going to check. Nope. Go ahead and hide my knot. Stitch back one stitch. Good to go. There goes my needle. Needle just ran away. There's my razor. I keep a black, I keep a black permanent marker in my pocket just for stuff like that. But I took it out today. Oh. Look the other way. Look the other way. You didn't see this. All right? Look the other way. Now, I'm not cutting it out. You guys, like I said, you get to see the real deal. That's okay for this car. I don't think this car is worth very much. It doesn't look too good. Yeah. Hey, real deal. This is how it's going to the next owner. It's the least expensive way to fix that. So I can feel good about that. This car's covered in dents too. It's silver. Probably has hubcaps. Nope, got alloys. But it does have lots of dents and stuff. Anyway, there it is, guys. All right, there you have it. Another Stitch video. I think I'm gonna tie this into another one. Hang tight. Let's go do another. I don't feel terrible about it. All right, so here's the other Stitch I was thinking of yesterday. I did some work on this car, and when I was parking it, I just deodorized it. But when I was parking it, I noticed this. So, but I had to leave, so I'm back to stitch it up. Well, I'm back to do other things, but since I'm here, I saw this car, and I'm gonna finish it up for him, because I help solve problems and help people sell cars. And nobody wants that. So then I saw this, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit those up and clean that up too. Everybody wants the nicest car they can get for their money, you know. So anyway, we're gonna do a little Frankenstitch on this, and hopefully it turns out nicer than the one I did yesterday. I'm gonna do 2 stitches, one from there to there, one from there to there, because I like to stitch toward me. So I'm gonna stitch instead of coming up and around and just make it more difficult. And again, this is a very affordable car, and if I do upholstery work, then I'm just causing the price of the car to go up for the customer. I'm not really helping them, because whoever buys this is not after an expensive car. They're after an affordable one. And so the right decision is to just Frankenstitch it up and help the customer out, the future customer, by keeping the price down instead of making it perfect. In case you were wondering how I arrived at the decision to do this. Not to mention, I don't want to do any upholstery right now. It ties me up for a large part of the day if I do too much upholstery. So I'm gonna try to just follow the factory stitch here best I can and not get it all wonky looking. The dreaded needle falling off. I broke all my nice thin ones, I think. So I'm using this. See if I can remember not to let it dangle. Yeah, everything's getting in my eye line of sight today. And hopefully I have enough battery. You can see this end. Oh my gosh, this I have to take my hoodie off.
And I need
The text chime. I'll have to delete that. It's super loud on the phone. Oh, these needles. This is the I hate it. I hate it. And they fall off. think I might have messed something up. I did mess something up. Man, having these threads. Maybe I didn't. Having these threads fall, I'm telling you, I hate it. I'm gonna tie this one. Even though I hate tying them because it makes a big hole when you pull it through. But maybe it'll help it stay on, I don't know. See? Pop, pop, pop. Popping a big old hole in it. Oh, shoot. This is not graceful. Oh, I don't want to pull it too tight either. Oh, thank God. Oh, this is Frankenstitch. What in the world am I doing? First job of the day. I screwed around this morning quite a bit. It is not early. What the hell? That means I need to go way up here. Internet redemption. It's actually turned out better than my Nissan Rogue Stitch. Well, so far. This material is more forgiving. This here is a Nissan Cube. Shake the car, would you? I don't have
have enough shaking going on. I need somebody to shake it. I'm gonna put these stitches a lot closer together as I make this turn, and these ones a little further out to keep up. That's kind of a big stitch, but that's okay. I want it to pull it up and forward, so. And I got a little hole there, but it's all right. One down. I don't care about that. I'll stitch it out. I've done a series of stitching videos. If you want a step-by-step, I've got a hidden seat stitch step-by-step video. Hidden Seat Stitch Explained, I think is the name of it. And I talked the whole time. About different things. I'm trying to move through this a little bit quicker. I don't want to waste your time or mine. Second row of a dang Nissan Cube. Car I've already worked on. Man. But it's a real deal. I'm here to help. I'm not here just to throw down invoices on my dealer's desks. And nobody's caught this but me. You know what? It didn't smell that great this morning either. So went ahead and hit it with some more urine destroyer or whatever. Dog smell killer. Man, even if it's just for my own benefit while I'm in here, I sure enjoy the smell of that. Urine stain and odor remover versus nasty dog. That bit the seat, or what? Something happened back here. Rolling dog kennel. I gotta get a drink of water. Something happened right there. Looks like I hooked my own thread or something. No, I hooked part of the seat. Oh, there we go. I think that's what happened. Not going back. Not going back. Did I cut my thread? No. Maybe. Yeah, I did. Something happened. Something odd happened, guys. The thread is getting unraveled. It's getting feisty with me. What the heck is going on with this? There we go. I got a funky stitch right there, but look at my face. I do not care. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all sorts of good inside. Getting ready to have a sunny day for the first time and after 60 days of rain or something like that. Well, actually I had a sunny day yesterday. But it's almost weird because part of my eyes are used to such dark conditions. And everybody takes a nap or something, man. I swear everything's slowed down. So then I have to work a little harder to fill my day, hopping around, tying up loose ends, no pun intended. And getting caught up where I need to so that things get busy. I'm not out of control busy. Because a lot of people will buy this car and then ask to have it fixed, so it's not like nobody would ever notice this. It's just waiting to happen. Why you gotta do this to me? Yeah. I'm gonna stitch out these other little holes too. I don't want to, I want it to be done. I think I broke that thread. I'm gonna put a little dab of super glue in there. And for those that have watched to the end of the video, I'm gonna give you a little treat. Just a little tip. A little trick to control super glue that I doubt you've ever used. But I believe those that are patient should be rewarded. I'm stopping. I'm not gonna keep going all day. I got other stuff to do. Square knot. Actually, I like to do more of a fishing hook style or hangman's noose, where you take this and wrap it 2 or 3 times, and then you can just cut one of the strings if you tie a good knot like that, and just feed one needle back through to hide your knot. Come up right on your stitch, pop your knot, pull your thread, cut it. Be careful. Lighter, but you want to do something with it. That's probably okay, but I'm going to show you.
I've got another video on this, but I'll show you anyways. Just gonna use the torch. This doesn't work on every car as well as others, but it works really well on this car so far. You use a propane torch instead of a heat gun. It goes a lot faster, and you're not going to penetrate the whole panel all the way through. It flashes the surface with a lot higher temp real quickly. And it doesn't, it doesn't always benefit you, but it does a lot of the time. Here we go. You're gonna get shiny panels, so you want to do a thorough job. So it doesn't get it all, but 85% is pretty darn good. And if you were trying to get tacked, you can, use a silicone pad and tamp down the big ones and get rid of those too, but that's not what I'm here doing. It'll cool down and look a little better. It's an improvement. No, that's not. Sweet. Done. There's the stitch. Frankenstitch. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe learned a few things. Go out there and set the world on fire. Do some stitches. Hope you think of me. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here later. Thanks for visiting my channel.